In today's video, we're sharing with you what we are currently reading, what we have finished, and some of the books coming to the Good Books Lately book club, and one of them is particularly smutty.
Let's dive in. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Taylor, and we're going to get into a reading update.
We got an update. We got some reading done.
I finished a book. I have accidentally fallen in love with a whole nother book that I didn't plan on, and we've got some fun books coming to the Good Books Lately book clubs. For Good Books Lately, over on the Patreon, we host book clubs.
Yeah, we got the regular Good Books Lately book club.
Just the basic,
We got Taylor's alternate book club.
Just in case you maybe don't want to read the regular book club book.
And then it started off as a joke, but now it's real. We got the Branden Smutty book club.
Oh,
we have a new, the next book in line for that after Lady Chatterley's Lover.
It's so much more smutty than Lady Chatterley's Lover based on the trigger warnings at the beginning of the book, and we're going to talk about that.
Yeah, but let's go ahead and get into it with our first segment. Done and dusted?
Done and dusted.
So this was in our last video.
Oh, yeah.
1-star reviews, but I gave it 4.5 stars. It's The Heart in Winter by Kevin Barry. It's a short little kind of Western frontier story, but it's also...
To clarify what you were mentioning before, if you didn't catch our previous videos about us reacting to the 1-star reviews of books that we've read, you need to catch that, especially for this one.
Yeah, but I read this one with my brother and my aunt, and loved it. It was good. It's like a love story, but it's funny and it's, you know, kind of poetic. The prose is very kind of poetic sounding, and so it takes a little bit to kind of get the hang of how it's being written.
Get your mouth around the words.
And the words, but also because there's not any quotation marks. So when is he talking to somebody, or when is he just talking in his head, kind of thing.
Does it have he said, she said stuff? Like, does it have? There's a name for that.
Sometimes. But you know, there's no indication sometimes if this is being said out loud or not. But once you get the hang of it, it really goes well. And if you get the hang of the poetic prose, it makes for a really fun story, and it has a very interestingly romantic story that's kind of like not a traditional one. These are lovers on the run kind of thing, and they're you know, they're doomed kind of lovers.
And the critique was that it was like raunchy.
Yeah, I mean there is some raunch to it, but
I don't know what that meant. Mr. Raunch.
But I enjoyed it. It's a good little Western. It kind of had similar vibes to like a Lonesome Dove or a brothers, sisters kind of.
Sisters, brothers.
Sisters, brothers, yes, right. So if you kind of dig a fun comedic Western, this is right up your alley.
But apparently the audiobook is not a good one to listen to because it's narrated by the author. I'm tempted to listen. That's what we should do in the after show for this video, is see if we can listen to a blurb of that audiobook, because I want to know what that sounds like.
Yeah, for sure.
And the person who ripped it for the audiobook made it sound like it was just atrocious.
Yeah.
Check out the previous video. Cool, good job. I'm glad you enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I like the cover of that.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah. Okay, ready?
Yeah, your turn.
All right. I finished Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. I am not going to belabor this, but I am going to tell you. So this is her first book in a new duology.
The Stonewater
Kingdom duology. I have read both of her previous books from the previous duology called the Shepherd King duology, and I think that was like her first.
Yeah,
you know,
I think so.
And I absolutely loved them. So for those of you that are watching this that have read that duology and loved it, just know that I loved that duology.
Yeah.
Loved it. I recommend it wholeheartedly to anyone. Okay, this one I finished. It took a little while to get it took a long time to become really invested. I did not like the main female character from the get-go. Yeah. The lover situation, she confronts him almost within the first 3 pages and just doesn't like him right off the bat. Yeah. And that whole thing is kind of confusing. So the whole enemies to lovers thing going on in here felt very forced. Rachel Gillig wanted...
Square peg in a round hole.
Yeah, maybe. Like, she wanted to do an enemies to lovers thing, and so she just kind of did it, but there's not enough there to convince you.
Like, really get it right.
Right, and so I feel like later in the story, you start to understand where this animosity might be coming from, but it's never really fleshed out fully.
Yeah.
Okay, the characters are... there's one character which actually happens to be a stone gargoyle that is entertaining. I wouldn't necessarily say that he's like a great character. He's just entertaining, where all the other characters kind of are...
He's more redeeming than the rest.
I don't even know. So there's another character by the name of Maud. She's like a 41-year-old knight, okay? And she's badass, and I really like her. But even she doesn't have a very round character. She's kind of just flat, like one note.
Okay.
But I like her, but she's just whatever. Okay, these are all these things. The story is not very fleshed out. The world that this is all taking place in is very simplistic and kind of not, it's not, like they traipse around this kingdom in what seems like a very short amount of time. And so there are things where you have to suspend a lot of disbelief with this one.
Right.
So ultimately I have a whole, like I had a hard time not stopping to take notes in my notebook. Like this is just like all of my notes on this book. And so what I'm going to do is synthesize that into a review and put it over on Goodreads if you're interested.
And Patreon.
And Patreon. I feel like this was underdeveloped and rushed and required better revision, editing. There are even like just typos in this that I felt like should not have made it through. Yeah. Not typos like kind of big deal ones, you know, where the wording, it changes like the context or something. Yeah, I don't know. I just felt like it was rushed. I'm hoping that she can redeem it in the second book.
The big question is, are you going to read the second one?
I think I will, because I really loved the first duology and I don't want to just bail.
Right.
You know, because I think there's a solid idea here
and it might
that was just poorly developed.
Pull it back,
maybe. And she might have to turn it into a trilogy just to make up for it. I don't know.
Money.
And the one thing that I'll tell you too, it's supposed to be considered adult, straight adult, not new adult, definitely not young adult, but there are parts that read very young adult. And one of the biggest parts of this book that feels young adult is this map.
Yeah, the map is very...
It looks like a map you would see at the beginning of a children's book about fairy tales. Right. The way that it's illustrated is very cartoony. It's very childlike. I don't like this. I don't like this. This looks like a child's imagined kingdom, and there's nothing about this that makes you think of the murky, dark nature that she's trying to create with this book.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I'm going to say. Underdeveloped. I gave it a 3 stars, which I felt like was more like a 2.5 stars. But I'm going to hope that the second one is better. If you've read the duology, the Shepherd King duology, tread into this with understanding it's not going to be the same, but just if you feel like you're a Gillig fan and you want to be true to her, read it and just... I don't know. Yeah.
Cool.
That's that.
All right.
Done and dusted.
Yeah, I got one more done and dusted.
Yeah, I'll see.
You want me to go?
Yeah.
Okay. My next one is The Moorstone Sickness by Bernard Taylor. This was our July book club book for the Patreon.
I did not read this one.
This book came out, I think, in 1982.
Can I just mention really quick so that they understand? This was the main book club book, and this Night and the Moth was the alternative book club book for Good Books Lately, and I read this one.
Yeah.
Just so we don't.
But I did read this one for our club, and it was good. I really enjoyed the way it was written really well. It's one of those kind of like village suspense or kind of like eerie horrors.
Something creepy going on under the surface.
Something weird going on in this English village. Really kind of well written. It's not overly descriptive. It's short. It's only like 100 and something pages. But you get a really kind of cool story. I don't feel like it was rushed. You get some good character development in there as well with the main characters. But the way they set the author sets the tone for the village and the people in the village, you really kind of, it almost becomes like another character in of itself.
That's cool. I like that.
And then you definitely start to think, okay, there is going to be something going on here. I knew kind of early on that what was going on with the village, but the payoff at the end definitely wasn't like, oh, that's a letdown. It was, okay, yeah, cool. I like that. And you get it, sense of it. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. And it's a book I had never heard of, nor was it an author I'd ever been familiar with. But now the way he writes that book, it makes me interested to maybe pick up another one of his.
And I'm wondering if that's what most of it, like this The Godsend is another book by him, and they all kind of have this like occult horror.
Yeah, I don't know. He's supposedly a really good horror writer.
Yeah.
So.
This Kirkus review says slow building occult horror.
Yeah, I think I gave this one 4.5 as well.
Okay.
Or 5. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I enjoyed it. It was really fun, really quick read. And kind of just kitsch. It's not overly scary or gruesome. There's really no gore. I mean, there isn't any, or any kind of really jump
scares. It's just like an ever-present,
it's just kind of like there's something eerie going on.
Cool.
And I liked it. It's a fun little cozy horror.
That's good. Perfect for going into fall. Fun,
Yeah.
cozy horror. That's
Yeah.
great.
So yeah, that was the other done and dusted for
Done
me.
and dusted. All right. Well, I have no more
Bookmarks?
done and dusted. You want to move into bookmark?
Yeah, I got some bookmarks we can do.
You want me to start?
Yeah.
Okay, so the first thing I want to do before I get into the other one is to mention this book, My Favorite Thing is Monsters, is currently bookmarked by me. I have started this book, but it was a while ago. I put it down, read a bunch of other things, and I'm going to be coming back to this because this is the Taylor's Alternative Book Club for the Patreon Good Books Lately book club.
Nice.
This book is, if you've never read a graphic novel before, this is a graphic novel of sorts. And I had never touched a graphic novel prior to breaking into this, and this was recommended to me by my brother. As soon as I opened it and started reading the pages, I had so much fun. The story that's building here is really interesting, but I just had so much fun reading the pages and kind of tracking the illustrations.
The art illustrations.
Yeah, it has a rhythm to it when you break into this, and so I'm excited for this.
Yeah.
The illustrations are stunning. It's supposed to look like a notebook of a young girl who's kind of like a journal that a young girl is keeping. And that's because the main character here, I believe she is 12?
10, 11, 12?
No, she's 10. You're right. She's 10 years old. It takes place in the 50s in New York City. She's 10 years old, and she has some like identity issues that she's going through. She kind of feels different from everybody else. And so she tries to imagine herself as a monster to kind of make her feel more like solidly different.
Yeah.
And that's like her favorite thing. Her favorite thing is monsters. And so she has tasked herself with trying to solve this murder of a upstairs neighbor in the apartment where she lives with her family. And so the story is like her going about her day to day, but also being kind of this sleuth, trying to figure out this murder of this woman that you see on the cover here, who was the neighbor upstairs. And she learns a lot about the different people that live in her building. Her brother is much older than she is, and she kind of learns a little bit more about him and some things that are coming up in his life. This is during, I want to say this is, so it's 1960s, I'm sorry, because it's during Vietnam, because he's going to be going, there's Vietnam. A potential for him to go to Vietnam. So 60s, I'm sorry. It's really interesting, and the illustrations make it so rich and vivid, and it looks like the entire book is illustrated in colored pencil and pen on a notebook. Like even the pages are lined. I've talked about this book before. It's just really cool. And so I'm excited to dive back into this as part of the Alternative Book Club for Good Books Lately.
Yeah, and it's the Alternative Book Club to
Kiki's
August's
delivery
book, which
service.
is Kiki's delivery service, which we have not yet started, by Iko Kadano.
Yeah, Aiko
Kadano. So yeah, the theme or the genre was middle grade books for August, and so this is the one that was selected by our Patreon. So we're going to be reading this not only together but with our boys
in the
kind of a before bed during school time.
Yeah, school starts Monday, and so we were hoping that this would be kind of what we start school reading together as a family. So that's that. This is my bookmark for the Alternate Book Club. So if you're interested, you want to get involved in a book club, try something a little bit new, this is a good one for that. All right, before I do my next one, go ahead and do your first one.
Okay, so I only have one bookmark going right now.
That's okay.
And that's All the Pretty Horses by Cormac McCarthy. Where were we when we did we did the Little Free Library video. Or books that we got, the thrift books. And I had the second, The Crossing, and I was like, I'll put it in the Little Free Library because I don't have this. Well, then the next day I went to go pick up my hold for Kiki's. And this was at the Little Free Library, or the library's used book sale. Got it for $1. And it's in perfect condition. And Thomas Howell, he's running his book club, and this is the book he chose for August.
That the book?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
what was that? Oh, yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
so he chose All the Pretty Horses.
He chose All the Pretty Horses. So I picked it up, figured I might as well read it. I liked the road, and I'm reading this one. I'm enjoying it. It's also a Western set in the 1940s, I think, in Texas. And it's about a boy who basically runs away from home to go into Mexico and become like kind of a ranch hand. And then I think he meets a
Penelope
woman.
Cruz.
Yeah, he meets a girl that he kind of is infatuated with. And I'm to that point, I'm about 45% of the way through this book, really liking the writing. It's another one of those that doesn't have quotation marks, so it's sometimes
it's the Cormac McCarthy.
Yeah. So I'm really enjoying it though. The way it's written, it's descriptive of the scene. You kind of get the idea, kind of similar to Heart in Winter, without being too much. It's also very kind of just like giving it to you as it comes. You don't. He's not telling you all of the things. You kind of just are presented with it as it's being presented to the character. Basically, you're not giving a bunch of knowledge.
You're
up front.
mentioning that to me, like where he's like they'll be going from point A to point B, and you don't necessarily know why they're going to point B. It'll just kind of come up in conversation,
and then it'll just all of a sudden at the end of when that section, you're like, oh, that's who that person is, kind of thing. Like you realize he doesn't. It's not going to introduce that person right away.
But it doesn't feel like an afterthought.
No, it's not an afterthought. It's very intentional, but it's done in a very neat and easy way to kind of follow.
I'm glad you're enjoying that. I really am.
My bookmark. The other bookmark is an audiobook. I'm listening to Carrie by Stephen King.
Oh yeah,
Really enjoying that. I'm almost done with that.
Narrated by Sissy Spacek herself.
Yeah, I got the 50th anniversary edition, which is cool.
Very cool.
All right, what you got a bookmark?
Okay, so I had finished Night in the Moth, and I knew that we were moving into the book clubs for the next month. Kiki's Delivery Service we're reading together, and then we have the book club for the Branden Smutty book club. That's my alternate. But I was like, I've got a couple books on the shelf. I just want to crack into one and give it a little taste. Yeah. Just a little sip and see if it's something that might be...
Night of Fire.
Right. And so I did that. I grabbed this one. Now, I picked this book up about a year ago. It was around the time that I was reading The Wolf Den by Elodie Harper. I wanted more like that.
Yeah, more.
And so I did some searching, and they said that this would be, they, meaning like the internet, told me that this is like a similar book. So I grabbed it at Barnes & Noble and didn't start it. I never even cracked it open. Well, a couple days, 2 days ago, I was like, I'm just going to see what it's like. It's been on the shelf for a long time. The cover of this book reads very like cheesy period romance. I don't know, Mistress of Rome.
Right.
And then you've got this woman.
You definitely get, you judge the book by the cover and you have an idea of what it could potentially be.
Yes, you really do. You kind of are looking into this like, okay, I get where this is going. Bridgerton?
Bridgerton. Kind of has a Bridgerton cover look to it.
It really does. Actually, it's like this is Bridgerton Rome edition.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Okay.
But it doesn't read that way.
No. So I opened it up and I started reading it just to see, just to do a little thing, just checking it out.
Just putting your toe in the water.
And now I am absolutely hooked.
She swan dived.
I love this book. I read so much in that single morning where I was just checking. It is so good. If you liked Wolf Den, if you like Roman historical fiction tinged with a little bit of like, it's not a romance for romance sake. Right. There's some romance in there, but I mean, this is like fraught romance. We're talking slave woman in Rome during, it's 80 AD, so the year 80 AD. There's Domitian, oh my God, what do I always say? Domitian is the emperor at the time. You get the book from perspectives, so it's not just the girl, the slave girl. You then will get the book from the perspective of the mistress, and then you'll get the book from the perspective of a gladiator. Yeah. And so you're getting multiple perspectives. The story is kind of not all over the place, but like you have different places and things come together. And the way that works, I usually don't like things like that, but it's so well done. It reminds me of how Game of Thrones is, where you kind of learn things from different people. It is meaty. It is really great with the historical detail, not too much, but just enough. It's not sappy romance at all. It's very fraught and difficult and treacherous and all of this. I love it. The spice is, so there is, like you know that it's going on. It's kind of closed door. It's not really descriptive, which I appreciate because it's not smutty to be smutty.
Right.
It's like this is what's happening, and you also have to remember too going into this the romantic tryst that happens in this happens when the young girl is 15 and the man is in his upper 20s, mid to upper 20s. So. That's a thing too, but of course we're talking about a time period where this was not uncommon. Right. I don't know. So it's not smutty or anything like overly spicy. It's just so well done. It's so classy. I'm telling you, this cover is a travesty because what it should show is you could put a woman on here, a woman, that's fine, but she should have some scrag, like her hair should not be so well kept. If this is supposed to be the slave girl in the beginning, or even so, maybe it's So the whole thing is like she's a slave, but then she kind of moves up in the world. Okay.
All right.
But it needs to be more gritty and sweaty and dirty than this. Okay. Because this book
Get some
is
grime on it.
Yeah, this book has some grime. There's grime in there. It's not all sunshine and roses. I feel like this belies the quality of the story that you're getting here.
Cool.
So yeah.
Well, yeah, you're enjoying it. You're 80% done.
So
something like that?
enjoying it.
70%?
I absolutely love it. It's by Kate Quinn, by the way, who's the author of The Alice Network and The Huntress.
All right.
And I actually, I'll talk more about the book pickups, but I did pick up the second one because it's a series.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it, folks.
Cool. I like it.
It's 5 stars so far.
But you're not even done.
No.
Maybe it has a bad ending.
Okay, I want to quickly, because I want to tease the book that's coming to Branden's Smutty Book Club. This one is one that we talked about this in the live meetup we do over on the Patreon. Every so often, a couple times a month, we do a Google Meet where we all hang out and talk about books and myriad other things. But one of them that was recommended was this one called Butcher and Blackbird. And this is going to be, I'm trying to get it to like focus. This is going to be our book for Brandon's Smutty Book Club.
Yeah.
This is it's The Ruinous Love Trilogy by Bryn Weaver. It's a book about 2 serial killers who have their thing is killing other serial killers. Kind of like got like that Dexter vibe. It's a good way to try to make it feel ethical.
Yeah, a little bit.
I don't know. But they are always trying to like outdo each other, these 2.
Yeah.
And then it's like a friends to lovers sort of situation. It's got trigger warnings that are just absolutely, accidental cannibalism, lobotomized manservant,
Amateur surgery.
And then other
Smuttiness.
Yes, quite. Ill-advised use of kitchen implements. So we decided that this one would be a fun one to do.
Everyone was a little bummed, but the lack of smut.
Yeah, the lack of actual smut.
Well, but it had smut in Lady Chatterley's Lover.
I think it was the lack of smut.
Right,
I think it was more just the
weirdness.
vibe.
It was just like 20s era smut.
Yeah. I don't know. So anyway, this is going to be for Brandon's Smutty Book Club for Good Books Lately if you've wanted to read this. Right, but definitely
have some fun. We'll do a live where we just hang out and talk about this.
Oh yeah, for sure. And if you're all in on the idea of doing this, but you do have sensitivities to certain things, it has a full list of content, trigger warnings, if you need that to make sure when you're not getting into something that might be out of your depth. But it says down here at the bottom, it says, oh, no, not here. It says, for those of you who read the trigger warnings and said accidental cannibalism, count me in. This one's for you. Oh, look, there's more on this side.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So anyway, whatever. That's coming.
All right. Quote of the day?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. I got a quote of the day from All the Pretty Horses. This one's not as like profound as some of the quotes I've done before,
good. I like
but it's a funny quote. So the main character and his friend have run away and they're in Mexico and they've met up with this other younger kid who has this really pretty horse. Something happens where that horse runs away from that kid, and so they're wandering through Mexico, and they come across this small village, and they see that horse, and something ensues, and they have to run, and they're on the lam, and they kind of get split up, but the main character and his best friend are still together, and they're kind of talking about what's going on and how this has become a calamity, and the main character goes, "A good-looking horse is like a good-looking woman," he said. "They're always more trouble than what they're worth. What a man needs is just one that will get the job done."
That reminds me of that song about if you want to, something like if you get an ugly woman to be your wife.
If you want to be having fun, that's your life. Just to make a friend, give them your right. So for my personal point of view, get another girl to marry you.
I don't actually.
You don't have a quote?
Well, okay, I did mark off something in here the other day that I thought was interesting, and I felt like it was just recently, but nope, I just devoured like 100 pages after I did that. Okay, Domitian is the emperor at the time, and he's very, I think, looking back on this and based on what you're reading here, he was considered to be a very good emperor in terms of managing the empire people, but he was a military man. He was not a people person. He was not a social guy. Like he wasn't that. He was just very much a military man, and he knew how to operate in that regard. And then he had a lot of advisors that helped him run the empire. Okay. But he had his own little things that he liked to do on the side. Okay, so it said, Domitian, in between working on new legislation, was writing a manual on hair care. Had thin hair himself, God help you if you mentioned it. I recommended an elderflower rinse to improve shine, but was told to be quiet. An emperor penning hair advice? Well, we all need hobbies. Emperor Tiberius played with slave girls. Emperor Claudius studied the Etruscans. Domitian wrote about hair. His other hobby was lining the slaves up below the terrace and shooting arrows between their outstretched fingers. He was very good, never missed unless he wanted to. In a bad mood, he liked to be accurate. In a good mood, he liked to miss. And I just thought it was funny because it is a part where it's like he's very, very serious. This is a nonsense guy, but he also takes seriously his writing of
hair care.
Hair care.
Nice.
So
I like it.
That was kind of cool. Might quote
Oh,
of the
cool.
day.
Yeah.
Well, this was it. This was our reading update.
We're all done. We're done and dusted with another episode.
Done and dusted. Don't miss the after show
Yeah.
because we're going to listen to an audiobook.
We'll listen to a little snippet of the
Not a whole-
audiobook.
like, not a little
or not that
snippet.
one, the other one.
What else are we going to do?
I think we're gonna go ahead and just pick the genre for next month for our Patreons to vote on. Or not to vote on, to start adding books to.
For next month, meaning September.
September, yeah.
Right. Because August is Kiki's Delivery Service.
And it's right now.
Butcher and Blackbird.
And
My favorite thing is monsters. You got to find one book there that you like. So, all right, guys, thank you for hanging out with us.
Yeah.
And we'll see you in the next video
Thumbs
where
up.
we share with you some recent book pickups that you might enjoy. Yeah, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe.
yeah, throw some comments in there if you've read any of these books that we've read.
Yep.
What you think.
And we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.